If you use a smaller model and ask it to a complex question, it might hallucinate on certain parts of the answer and state factual stuff on other parts. In many cases, asking the same question multiple times will lead to having the factual stuff being repeated while the hallucinated stuff is changing. So another similar case is if you have, say, 4 different models that are fine-tuned in the medical domain in slightly different ways. You ask the 4 models the same question, and then you want to find the things that all 4 of them agree on. In both of these cases, you need your LLM to separate out what is being repeated in multiple answers and separate that out as factual info because it's being repeated. A small model might struggle to do this out of the box, and the answer is to fine-tune it for this specific function, of course. It's fairly simple. You just create your 4 different statements and you teach it how to answer. So we use tags such as factfind to better trigger the behavior, as well as some HTML-like tags to separate the statements. The number of statements you have and the wording should be more aligned with what your models will be producing. But it's probably not a great idea to have identical wording in all of them. In the example here, the factual info is in 4 out of 4 answers, and highly probable is in 3 out of 4. You figure out your thresholds, but that's the gist of the idea. This isn't super useful for real-time systems, so this is probably best used for slower but more factual systems. I think speed will play a less of a role in practice in the future, and factuality and accuracy will be more important. So this will be a useful metric. You can use BERT models and faster stuff like that for something close to real time, but larger LLMs will be more accurate and useful, especially if factual statements are being stated with very different wording from each agent. So also this isn't perfect. I've seen small 7 billion models have consistent hallucinations. For example, when asking them about who I am, I kept them having say that I'm an artist because, so yeah, it's even consistent information isn't a guarantee against hallucinating. So it's not a perfect system by any means, but in figuring out hallucinations, I would rather use this one as one of the ways to implement a voting system.